icon series.
Morning, children. So today we are going to learn a new lesson that is about Tenali Rama. We know Tenali Rama was one of the most famous and one of the most important courtier in the court of which king? Krishna Devaraya, isn't it? Okay, so what do you mean by a courtier? Gier, courtier. So in the olden days, the kings used to have a lot of ministers and other kinds of people. Somebody who was very famous, very prominent in the literature, in art, in sculpture, architecture. So all these kinds of people were there in the court. Okay, and these members who were actually present in the court of the kings were known as courtiers. Okay, so these people actually helped the king to face so many situations or find the solutions for different kind of problems that were there in the kingdom. Okay, so in case if there is, say for example, some natural calamities are there. Okay, so one region doesn't have any water. So there are some experts related to that particular field who can give some suggestions. Okay, my dear king, we will do this. Okay, so in the field of architecture, for example, the king wanted to construct. So usually what happens is, after the wars and all, these kings used to construct temples and all. So if he has to construct a temple, then there will be, he has an architecture. Okay, so he will take the help of other people, related people or required to construct a temple over there. Right? So it goes on like that. And, sometimes there will be some kind of situations that happens in the court. Say, for example, there are some issues among the people. So there were no police and the court and all these kinds of things during that time. Everything will be settled in the king's court. Right? So when the kings were not able to find the solutions, the wise people in the court, like Tenali Rama. Tenali Ramakrishna was a very wise man. And the most important thing is that he has a great presence of mind. Presence of mind means what? Yeah, the calm state of mind. Let whatever may happen, he will find a solution for any kind of problems. So usually, for a simple example, imagine in the class, the maths teacher or the science teacher or the English teacher came to the class and they asked you to take your notebook and write something. So you searched for the pencil or the pen and you couldn't find the pen. Immediately we will become tense, isn't it? Oh my God, where is the pen gone? Is that the problem there now? Where is the pen? No, we need the pen. We checked in the bag, okay, it's not found in the bag, okay, no problem. During the break time, we will check the entire bag. Do we have time now? No. Immediately, if you have the presence of mind, then, okay, I'll check it during the break time. Now, dear friend, do you have the pen? You'll ask your friends. And later during the break time, you can check it. If it is there, okay. If it is not there, you can ask your friend, I have forgotten to bring my pen. I will use your pen for today and tomorrow. And by evening, I will give it to you. Done. If we do not have the presence of mind, we will become tense, we will become a problem, we will make a problem. Sometimes we may start to cry. The teacher will see it. He will make us to stand up. Again, we become more tense, isn't it? These kinds of things should not happen if we have presence of mind. Okay? So these kinds of things do happen to everybody and we should not become tensed for that. So Tenali Rama had such a great presence of mind. Great presence of mind. Let anything happen to him, he will very simple, very cool manner. He's very cool, no problem at all. All the other people, including Krishna Devaraya, may be worried, oh my God, what to do now? But Tenali Rama is cool. Simple. So this is another story which says about the presence of mind of Tenali Rama. So we are talking about the king. Isn't it? Krishna Devaraya. Right? So the king, Krishna Devaraya, he himself was a wise king. He also was a very good king. He is a world famous as a very good king. Okay? And so many people used to come to his court to show how talented they are. It can be magicians, it can be singers, it can be artists, it can be sculptors. Okay? They used to come to this court and they will show their talent and they will get some prizes for that. So one day, a magician came to the court of Krishna Devaraya. Okay, a magician came to the court of Krishna Devaraya and he said, my dear king, I am a talented magician. My name is Jamsha. Okay, what is the name of the magician? Jamsha. Right? So my name is, Jamasha. Okay. So my name is Jamasha. I am a magician and yes, I would like to show some of my tricks in front of you in your court if you give me the permission. So that is common, nah? If you give me, without the permission of the king, nobody can do anything over there. Okay, he asked for the permission of the king, Krishna Devaraya. Krishna Devaraya said, okay, carry on. So along with other courtiers and the people, our great personality, Tenali Ramakrishna, was also there. So he also started watching the magic show. So Jamasha started his show. He took a stick and showed it to everybody. See, everybody, this is a stick, and he said some what is that? Abracadabra. What the magical chantings? Okay. Oh, Gili Gili Pasha. Oh, Gili Gili Pasha. And now, immediately, what happened is the stick that he had in his hand changed into a sword. You know, sword as a big knife kind of a thing which is used by the kings in the wars and all. The people were quite surprised. Oh my God, how is it possible to change a stick into a sword? Huh? The king also was quite impressed. He has got some stuff. And immediately he took the sword and gave it to the king and said, my dear king, please keep it as a gift from me. He gifted the sword to the king. Now, Jamasha got into the second act and he took a bunch of flowers. A bouquet or something like that. And again he started making the chanting, O Gili Gili Pasha. And suddenly the bunch of flowers became a pigeon. A bunch of flowers became a pigeon. Okay? So all the people, including the king over there, they were amazed. Wow! What a great thing. Isn't it? Yes. Now, he was showing one after other the tricks, one after the other, and all the people were getting very much interested in that also. Okay? The king was getting interested, the courtiers were getting interested. Tenali Rama was just observing what this guy is doing over there. He is a Khani guy, isn't it? Yes. So, magic is something like, it's showing that we are getting diverted. Our thinking, our perspective is getting diverted. So, then he said, now I have got a big challenge. What is that? I'll get the moon. So, he said the magical chant Gili Gili Pasha, and all of a sudden, on the walls of the court, it was filled with the moon and the other heavenly bodies, like the stars, some distant planets were seen there. It became something like a night. And the moon is inside the palace. Okay? Can you imagine it? The moon, which is shining in the sky along with other stars, are there in the room now. The king was hell shocked. Oh my God. The other courtiers were, wow. And the magician said, all these years I have been practicing and using my powers. He has got some special powers, and it is with these powers that he is able to do that. Now, I'll make the moon disappear. I'll make the moon disappear, but even though there is no moon in the sky, you will have moonlight. How is it possible? So every month we have a new moon day, no? New moon day. And there won't be any moon in the sky, and it will be very dark, isn't it? Pitch dark. And this magician Jamasha was saying, I will vanish the moon. I will make the moon disappear, but still we will have moonlight. And again he said Gili Gili Pasha. And there is no more moon in the sky. But everywhere inside the court is filled with the moonlight. Okay? And he said, I'm sure there is nobody in the king who can beat me. I am such a great magician. This was a problem. Now, this magician has shown such a great magical skill, and now he is challenging. What? I am the biggest and the greatest magician in the world, and I am sure there is nobody in your kingdom who can defeat me. So he has come from some other kingdom, some other region, and now Krishna has to accept it that the people in our country are not as wise as these people. Krishna said, I think I am afraid I have to accept it. Yeah. You have done such great things. You changed a stick into a sword, a bunch of flowers into a pigeon. You brought the moon and the stars in my room, in my court. And now you made the moon disappear, but still the entire area is flooded with the moonlight. So, obviously, yes, I think I have to accept it as a fact that you are the greatest magician. Because I don't think there is anybody who can challenge it. And after saying that, he looked at the courtiers. So, is there anybody who can challenge this? Tenal all the courtiers were thinking that nobody can challenge this man. Because he was showing such kind of great skills over there. Isn't it? Yes. He is really a great magician and nobody can challenge him. But Tenali came forward and said, my dear king, please don't accept it as a defeat or something like that. Please do not accept him as the greatest magician of this world also, because I will accept his challenge. I will accept his challenge and I will defeat him. I will defeat him. The magician, Jamasha, he was saying, what a fun. You are just a simple courtier who is in the court of this king called Krishna, and you are not at all known as a magician, but you say now you are going to defeat me. Rama said, yes. Nothing more. I will do a trick with my eyes closed, and you should do the same trick with eyes open. Can you accept it or not? If we want to do something with our eyes closed, it is very difficult, isn't it? Same thing, we can very easily do it with our eyes open. Right? So Jamasha was saying, what a fun. What a fun. And it is impossible or it is very difficult for us to do something with the closed eyes, but if we are open, we can do it very easily. Tenali Rama said, okay, then you accept the challenge. If you believe that you can do it easily, then accept the challenge. He said, okay. Jamasha said, I accept the challenge. Now you do it with your eyes closed and I will do it with my eyes open. Tenali Rama went to the gatekeeper. Along with the king, there will be attendants, with the spears and all, for this protection and all. He called one of these gatekeeper or attender and said something in his ears, so that nobody else will listen to that. The gatekeeper said, yes, sir, went out and came in with something in his hand. There was something in his hand. Tenali Rama very carefully took that from the hands of the gatekeeper. Okay? Tenali Rama bought that from the gatekeeper and said, my dear king, and the great magician by the name of Jamasha, this is a sand. What is this? Sand. So now what I am going to do is, I will close my eyes and put the sand on my eyes. I will close my eyes and put the sand on my eyes and then I will shake it off and look at you. Now what you need to do is, you should open both your eyes and put the sand in your eyes. I will do it with my closed eyes and you should do it with your opened eyes. That was a condition, no? That was a condition, isn't it? But now, Tenali Rama is a wise guy. He did it with his closed eyes and wiped the sand off, opened his eyes and said, my dear Mr. Jamasha, here is a sand for you, do it with your open eyes. Jamasha was shocked. But how can somebody put the sand in his eyes, man? How is it possible to put the sand? If a single dust particle fall in your eyes, it's quite irritating. And a handful of dust. I am sorry, my dear king, I cannot do this trick and I accept my defeat. Who said? Jamasha, the person who brought the moon and the stars in the court of Krishna accepted his defeat. Krishna was very happy because somebody from some other country or kingdom or region came to my court and he tried to make a fool of me and my people. He came over here and said, I am going to show you a trick. Your people cannot do it. Can anybody come and do it? And we have got people who can do much more greater trick than what you can do. Was what Tenali Ramakrishna proved with this simple trick of a sand. Okay, the magician accepted his defeat, went back and he said, I am not a great magician. I am not a great magician. I am just creating some illusions. Okay, with our tricks, we influence your thinking. With our tricks, we influence your thinking and create some illusions, means which is not real. That is what we do. But with his wisdom, Tenali Ramakrishna was able to prove that there are people who can do greater things than that. So the magician went his way. Krishna was very happy. He gave a bag of gold coins to Tenali Ramakrishna because with his presence of mind and wisdom, he saved the kingdom. Right? So that is the lesson of Tenali Ramakrishna and the magician. And now we will go on to the exercise part of this lesson.